Now, there are special abilities on each warrior. Now, on this warrior, who's actually a minion, you can see that you've got strength and you've got ground pound. Now, underneath both of those, you see that there's a little word called passive and active. And I'm going to illustrate what those mean, the difference between them. Now, a passive ability means it's always happening, it's always true. So this guy's got strength. And strength's a passive that grants +1 damage to the ogre, which means that he's always got +1 damage. By default, you can see the stats here. All minions have 1 speed, 1 range, 1 damage, and 1 HP. So the speed is how fast I can move a piece. So let's say how many spaces I can move in one action. So if he has 1 speed, for every action I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Because he only has 1 speed. So for every action he can move 1 space. Now his range, he has a range of 1, if you can see that down there. A range of 1 means I can attack 1 space away from me. So I'd have to be right next to the sniper, adjacent to him, to attack him. My range doesn't reach quite all the way to him. I need 2 range to hit him there. So that's what my range is. I can only attack in the direction that I can move. So here, if I was right here, I can only attack here, 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 or here. Because that's the only places I can move. Now back to his abilities. Now ground pound is an active, which means he can actually use an action to use it. Strength is just naturally. I always have +2 damage. He's always hitting very hard. He's an ogre. But ground pound's a special ability that he has. And with ground pound, I can use an active and it says perform an attack that will simultaneously deal damage to everything around me. So with my ogre, I can say I'm going to move up here and I'm going to attack in a radius. So I would attack here, 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 and here, and kill this sniper. Now what's even cooler is I can move right up to both of them and do a radial attack, and attack both of them at the same time. That's a special move. It would cost me 1 action to use, but it'd be way worth it. Now the scaler has leapfrog and scale. Now if we turn this around, we see that leapfrog is a passive. Well, what does leapfrog do? It allows me to jump over other pieces, just like a checker piece. So let's go say, for instance, I have this enemy right here, and I'm right here. I could go 1 and jump right over him to 2, 3, 4. And I just jumped right over him because he was in my way. Or let's say it's just a wall. Leapfrog allows me to jump over occupied spaces. So say I'm right here and go 1, 2, 3, and I can jump over pieces. Now he also has scale, which is really cool because he can jump on top of walls. Jumping on walls is really a defensive strategy and strategic because let's say I have an opponent who is down below me. I can attack him, but he can't reach me because he needs extra range to get on top of a wall. If he breaks the wall underneath me, the moment he does that, I immediately have a free response to move out of the way, or even attack him. So I get a free action within his turn if he breaks the wall beneath me. Alright, and that's the scaler. Alright, the next warrior I'm going to show you is the bomber. Now he's a really cool minion. He's got minefield and explode. Now, minefield is an active. I have to use an action to use this cool power, and I'll show you what it does. If I use minefield, I'm going to take this deck of markers, and the marker cards are all the same on the top, but on the bottom, some are blank and some have cool icons like the bomb, which is what I'm going to use for this move. So let's say I want to place a bomb with minefield around me in a 1 space radius. So I'm going to place this secret bomb. Let's say, I think he's going to move down here in my life force. I'm going to place this bomb right here. Yeah, that's a good idea. Now, I know where this is, but I'm going to put the rest of these blank marker cards in every other available spot around me. So in a 1 space radius, I can place these. And the rest are blank. But I know there's a bomb here, and my opponent does not, so he's kind of worried that if he jumps on one of my bombs, he's going to blow up. Now mind you, bombs are very dangerous even for me, because if he jumps on this, it will blow him up, but it'll also deal 3 damage in a 1 space radius as well. So this could hurt me if I'm not getting out of the way, or if I'm not careful. So he might think, oh, that's a good idea. I'm just going to blow myself up and hurt the Guardian, hurt your bomber, and do a lot of devastation. So you need to be really careful planting bombs, but they can be really handy, especially if you plant one by their life force and their Guardian. That would be super sweet. Now, the bomber also has an ability called Explode. Explode, if you look on the back, is a passive ability. So that means if this bomber gets killed, he blows up. For example, if he's right here, and the enemy scaler says, I'm going to kill your bomber. If he attacks him, he will immediately blow up and kill the guy who attacked him. Alright, the next warrior I'm going to show you is the sniper. He has stealth and range. What stealth does is it allows me to put him in hiding, so my opponent has no idea where I am on the board. what we're going to do is we're going to say, all right, my sniper is going to hiding. So I'm going to put him down here on the stealth unit placeholder, right here. So I'll put him there, and I'm going to take this deck of marker cards, and I'm going to look on the back and find my stealth unit. It says stealth unit, and I'm going to take the red X. There's a blue and a red, I'm going to use the red for now. So my sniper was right here originally, and I moved in stealth. So I'm going to say, I'm going to move up in secret. I can either move up, I can move left, I can move down, I can move right. Just my standard movement. So I know I can move up, and I'm going to. I'm going to put him up, and I'm going to take my other blank ones, put them here, 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 and here. These are all the available spaces I could have moved. Now my opponent doesn't know, did I stay there? And what's awesome about this is when we get to our second move, if we look at the sniper and he has range, that makes the sniper super deadly because he has +1 range, which means that by default, he can shoot 2 spaces away. So not only does my opponent not know where I'm at, but he's thinking, oh no, if I'm here, he might can shoot me. Or if I'm here, he might can shoot me there. I don't know where he is. Now, what's important about stealth is every time you move, you have to reveal yourself. So that at least lets my opponent know. It keeps it in check. It doesn't let me just get out of control, have markers going everywhere as I'm going to stealth. And that is the sniper. The next warrior I'm going to show is this minion, the scout. He has vision and strafe. What vision allows him to do is it reveals enemy markers around him. So if I come up here, in a 1 space radius around him, I reveal any enemy markers. So this one's in that 1 space radius. So I'm going to say, okay, what is that? Oh, it's a bomb. I know where the bomb is now. It'll be revealed, and it'll stay there. I don't know where the bomb is. So what's nice about that is I don't actually have to engage it. I don't have to attack it or walk upon it to find out what it is. I can just move up next to it, and it's revealed in a 1 space radius. What's also awesome about the scout is he has strafe, which allows him to move and attack diagonally. That's right, he can move and attack diagonally. So if I'm up here, most pieces can only move up, left, right, down. But here I can actually attack the scalar because I can attack in the direction that I move. So I can attack the scalar. If I kill him, then I can also move here. Or I can move up here, or move down here. I can move anywhere in a circle, which is really sweet and makes him a really mobile warrior. The next warrior I'm going to show you is the blockader. He's a minion that has armor and ram. Now what armor allows him to do is allows the blockader to ignore 1 damage per turn, which is really cool because if the sniper comes upon me, say he's got 5 action, he goes 1, 2, 3, 4. For his 4th action, he hits me, I say, haha, I have armor, so I ignore that 1 damage. And I have a free response since I survived, because remember, warriors that survive an attack get a free response in that turn. So he attacks me, I go, oh, I'm going to move out of the way. Now he only has 1 more action, so he goes, I'm going to move for my 5th action, but he can't shoot me because he ran out of actions. Now that may not always be the case. Let's say he has all his 5 actions, he goes, boom, for 1. Oh, I got armor, I move out of the way. 2, boom, for 3. He does get me because I can only ignore 1 damage per turn. That 2nd damage will get through me and kill me. Now another cool ability that the blockader has is ram. What ram allows me to do is push other pieces around. So I can move up, I can push the sniper up, and if I push him again, what's really interesting is in the rule book you'll see that if a piece is pushed and he cannot move, he's dealt 1 damage. You say, well, why is that so important? Why don't I just hit him? Well, here's the thing. If you push a piece and deal him damage, he doesn't get a response. So that can be really handy, especially if I'm fighting an unchained guardian. And I know, man, in this turn, if I hit this guy, he's going to just kill me. But I can just push him around, and that guardian can't respond. So I can push him 4 times and move out of the way for my 5th, or however I want to do it. The next card I'm going to show you is the Mage. He's a warrior, a minion warrior that has Stun and Deliver. Let's show you what Stun is. Stun does is I can move up, and within the range of 2, I can put a black marker on top of him and say, alright, you're stunned until my next turn. So what that means is, maybe it's my turn, I go 1, 2, I put stun on him. Now the scout cannot move on his turn, so my turn's over, now it's my opponent's turn. He cannot move the scout. He's frozen here. He can attack, but he cannot move the card. So now it's my turn. I'm going to start bringing people over. 1, 2, and I'm going to stun him again. And he can't do anything, so I bring my army around and I just destroy him. So I can freeze pieces. Maybe I want to set him up to die, or maybe I want to stop someone from just devastating my army. Stun is really useful. Now the mage also has a very defensive support ability, which is called Deliver. What Deliver does is it allows me to protect myself or a fellow comrade from damage. It's my turn, and I'm thinking, oh no, this ogre is going to get killed by either the sniper or the scout. There's nothing I can do to save him. They'll just hunt him down. They want to kill him. So my mage comes up and says, don't worry, buddy, I got your back. In a 1 space radius, I can protect myself or another warrior by placing Deliver on him. Let's say I put Deliver on the Ogre. What Deliver does is, on the following turn, say now it's my opponent's turn, he says, alright, I'm going to attack you. He attacks him. Instead of my Ogre dying, he's going to be teleported back to my Life Force row. Anywhere I want on my Life Force row. Spell comes off, but he is safe from damage. Alright, the next warrior I'm going to show you is the Keeper. The Keeper is an awesome warrior because he's your main guy. He's like you, because this is Keeper's Ascension. This is your guy. So now, because he's so important, he's also very dangerous to lose, because if he dies, he regenerates right away. You say, well, that's great. If he regenerates, what's the problem? Well, he's connected directly to your Life Force, which has 15 health at the beginning. Every time your Keeper dies, this goes down by 5, if I can find it. So he becomes 10 now. Every time this Keeper dies, your Life Force goes down by 5, which means you don't want him dying very often. But he has 5 health to begin with, so if you see your life tracker, you start out with 5 health, so he's already a stronger card than all the other minions. He can take the damage and deal it back. What's also cool about the Keeper is they have an ultimate on them. And most ultimates are only be able to be used once per game, so they're very special to use and very powerful, but you want to be careful when you use them, because if you waste it, that's the only time you get to use it, and then that's it. Now I'm going to explain the Guardian Warrior to you. The Guardian begins the game chained up, and you can see the bottom classification chained. Now, he has 10 health to begin with, so he's a very strong warrior, and he has 3 damage to deal. So if a puny little minion runs up to him, bam! Get out of my way. You're just a puny minion, and I'm a Guardian Warrior. So, he is chained up, though, so he's a little restricted. But that's okay. You want him to protect your Life Force, right? You don't want him running around, getting himself killed, and then your Life Force being completely vulnerable. So let's remove these. So now, if you want him ever to be unchained, how do you do it? Well, you have to spend 20 strange matter to unchain your Guardian. It's hard to do, and it'll take you a while to get those resources, but if you do, and you unchain him, he's a very dangerous warrior, because now he can run around. And he can just run up and bash into your enemies. While he's chained, however, he can only move in a 1 space radius around your Life Force. And then there you go, you have the strongest warrior on the board.